Hey everybody, welcome back. It's another 70-degree day, so I'm going to take some time here, work on the 52 a little bit. This week I got some exciting things in the mail, or exciting to me. So I've got a resistor to put on for the fuel gauge, voltage reducer. I got the new terminal strips, and these are the 5 terminal boards. The original is 4, so I'm going to have to adapt something to put on there since the mounting holes don't line up. What else did I get? Got the gaskets for the backup lights. Bought me a new dome light cover, and then been waiting on it for 5 years. I got the catalog finally from Chevy's of the 40s. So let me show you what I'm going to try to do today. Back here in the back, circle around here. So when I left on the last video, all this was kind of still back here. So I'm gonna gather my couple wires to go down to the gas fuel tank, put those together, run everything back, and then put my connectors onto the rear tail lights and the backup lights. So I'm going to do that. Let me gather everything together here, and then come back to you and show you what I've got. All right, so on each of these connectors for the rear lamps, these top parts here, I just put a little bit more solder on them, because over the years what's on there had become depressed. So I just built it up a little bit more, and when you put them back in to the socket, there's only one way to do it, because the tabs on either side are offset, so you can't mess it up. So now what I've done to try to test it out, so I've got a small 6-volt 12-volt battery charger there, got it set to 12 volts. So I'm going to put the ground on that, and then with the positive, so touch it here. Alright, so there's one lit up, and that one's brighter, so that's my brake, and then that's the regular one. So now I've been able to identify that. I'm going to mark it on this one, get a Sharpie, mark which side's the bright. I got a red Sharpie, so I'll just put red there, red on that side, maybe black on that side, and I'll double check the other one. I'm not going to assume that they're in the same positions. I'm going to double check it. I got to skin these wires back a little bit, and then I'll be ready to put the connection on here. Once I'm done with the connection on here, then I have to put the connection on the new set of wires that's come through. So let me get those connectors on, and I'll show you that process. Okay, so I've got one complete, and then one I'm gonna work on. So I'm gonna show you what I did here with this set. So I tinned the wires. I found it a little easier to leave the wires long and then tin them, and then cut them back to the length I needed. So you put these small little rubber grommets on, and what I did was just kind of twist them a little bit. That gets them over the cloth insulation, and you stop right where the insulation starts. And same thing on this one. To there. Get the connectors out. Okay, so the male pins go into the female connectors. The female pins go into the male connectors. And on this, the back part crimps over the blue part, and then the middle part here goes over your wire. And I'm really trying to keep these the same direction on both plugs here. So this one's still got some tape on it here. So all right, so what I did was held it in place, and then on the crimps, now the crimps are a lot wider than what I need, so you got to be careful, and so you don't get the back one just yet, and get it lined up on here so it centers. And you really need to go all the way down with it. Then give it a little tug. That went a little too far. Got a little crooked on that one. Let me Let me do the back here. Oop. This one's not one to do just right. That'll fix it. Because when you slide these in here, they'll click, and they got a little part right up in here that clicks in place. So, let's see if I can do a little better on the other one. Let me see if I can straighten this out. Okay, let's see. Yeah, the first two did fairly well. It's easy. So I can try to get this in camera view here. Toughest thing is they want to roll a little bit before you crimp them. So I'm trying to keep them straight as possible. All right, so that one did a lot better. Well, it's still a little loose. So I was gonna give it a little more pressure just to tighten it up. There, that's good. Right there. Get the back part. And just do this real slow so you can watch it. Watch what it does. And make sure it doesn't roll on you. Alright. So, to keep them all the same, and the instructions will show this. So, there's the locking tab on top of this. So I'm putting them all the same way. So I got the red on this side on this one, and the red on this side on this one. So that's my brake. And when you slide them in, oh, there you go. And you hear them click. I heard 2 clicks on that. Then you've got this blue part. Comes up underneath. And then that will click into place. The other plug is done the same way. I'll have to do that one on the car. You just use the different connectors on it. And then when you get done, you got your watertight fitting for your lights. So I'm gonna go to the car and start routing the wires, gathering them up, separating them out, where each one goes, and then I'll work on these connectors to it. All right, so I've run the cables down through here. These are the fuel pump, fuel sending unit, and third brake light. The third brake light, I'll just coil that up and kind of tuck it around here somewhere. Maybe I'll install one, maybe I won't, I don't know. So wherever we had the metal that went down, I've wrapped the cloth tape around it just to protect it in several places. So, and this one goes right here. Put that in. Oh, that was a little tight. So to replicate a little bit of what went on with the previous wiring for the rear tail lights, I made a Y connection right here at the left tail light, and then I put a connector on it here, and that's going to go to the license plate lamp. Now the other 2 wires, the left turn signal and brake, and then the tail light, I'm going to put the opposite connector that I put on the sockets on there. And then I've ran to over here, got the same kind of cables going over here, and I'll do the same to there. Now I measured these wires. I measured the length of them all the way to where I plug in the socket, and that's going to give me, and there's already a pigtail on the socket, so that's going to give me plenty of wire to work with and to pull things out. And it's like putting extra wire in your electrical box. So I'm going to do that, crimp those, and make sure I get, because the left rear That's going to have to go to the one I marked red, and this one will go to the one I marked black on it there. On this connection, this Y connection right here, I skint the cable, a little small section of it, soldered the two wires together, and then put some heat shrink on it, and then I wrapped the heat shrink with the cloth tape on top of it too. This right here, this is for the backup lights, so I'm gonna put a connector on that one and use the same junction here. The backup lights, let me show you those. I'm gonna have to probably rebuild the entire things on these, because that's what the good one looks like. The bad one looks like this, but on that, the wire, see, the wire kind of comes out. I don't know if I can replace the whole wire, replace this little top on here. I might be able to, because that's just a little thing, a little dab of solder. So if I can replace that, then I can change out the whole wire, and that will all be brand new wire there. So and it'll look a lot better than what's there. And then just something, you know, replacing new wire where I can. So I'm gonna get these, and then get the connector here. I did find another crimper. This crimper right here, it's a little thinner. See how thin that is compared to how thick that is. So I'm gonna use this crimper, at least for crimping the wire part. On this one, I'll use this one to crimp the back part, because it's got a bigger, use the bigger part for the wire part, and then, or for the strain relief, and use that one for the wire. So let me get that, and I'll have that done. All right, so there's the finished connectors. The other one, it was just the same process as before. I did mess up one of them, because you have to turn them in the correct way, and I turned them in the wrong way. So I had to start over on that one. But they're all correct. So the brown wire is your stoplight, so it follows through, it goes to the black side on both of them. And then the green and the yellow are your turn signals and tail lights. So now I can just put them back in place, and those will be done. On this one, I just need to put a connector on this one, and then redo the tail lights. Those, like I said, I'm just going to bundle up, and I need to put the door, the button for the overhead light on the driver's door. I need to put that back in. I had to clean it with some electrical cleaner, so I'll put that back in, and then that'll be done. And then I'll just have the mess of wires on the floor to contend with. But that's that. This Thursday, I'm actually taking the engine down to get it worked on, or get it swapped over. I've got everything together in a bucket. That's the accessories that go on it. I just put everything in there. I don't know how long it's going to take to get the new engine back, but told the guy I'm not in a big hurry. I just want this to be able to be running by the end of the year. So it's March, so I got plenty of time. On these wires, I did bring the soldering iron here, so I did tin those as well. The newer wires tinned a lot easier than the old wires, because the old wires got a little bit of the oxidation on them, making it a little difficult to tin them. But they did pretty well. I said I need to rebuild the rear lights. I'm gonna probably work on that here in a little bit. Get my Dremel tool out, and put the wire brushes on it. Do some stuff like that. So I'll save the update on that for the next video next week. But thank you for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe, like the video, and help keep it going. But thanks for watching.